So welcome everybody to episode 2 of the Lawtee podcast. Today is a very exciting one because it is featuring the most glamorous law partner in London. Welcome to the podcast, Miss Oliverta Mediu. So today with Oliverta, we will be diving into one of the juiciest topics, certainly for me, in the legal world. And as someone who's never been married, I have been very surprised about the kinds of questions that divorce lawyers get asked by their clients. It's been interesting and it's been eye-opening. So today we are going to be asking Oliverta some of the wildest questions that people ask about divorce and some of the most general and helpful. So anyone who is thinking about divorce, going through divorce, or might be in the future, this podcast might be helpful for you. So Oliverta, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
And obviously you and I have had many discussions and conversations about divorce, and you've given me some very hard-hitting advice about marriage. So some of the questions I think that people will be interested to know about. Let's start with one that is pretty helpful, and I know that you can give good advice on this one. So money is a very difficult subject to have in divorce, causes a lot of tension. I think just in general, it's always a tricky topic to bring up, especially when you're separating with someone. So if you are approaching that conversation with your soon-to-be ex-partner and you're divorcing, how do you, what sort of setting, what advice do you have for anyone that's having their money conversation?
Well, it's a very big question, and it will not do justice if I gave you a short version of it, because it depends on the situation, it depends on the couple, it depends whether they have children, whether the wife is a housewife who has stopped working, whether the children are very young or in full-time education. It depends on what sort of relationship the partners now and ex-partners to be do have with each other, because as you may understand, when one approaches divorce, the other person may not just be the favorite person, and even though they once loved each other, it has approached that time that you really don't want to have a conversation, but you have to. Guess what, you have to approach it now more of with that idea of this has to be done, this at the end of the day, treat it, I know it may sound cold, but treat it as a business meeting. Never go into a conversation with your partner when you are too emotional, because emotions can get the better of you, and you will not do justice to your situation, your children's situation, and your partner. So unless and until you are at that place where you're cool-headed and you think you can handle that conversation, because it's a very difficult conversation, I would advise all clients to have a session with either a mediator or a solicitor or anyone that they think it can help, to put in maybe some bullet points what they want to communicate to their partner, so then they can rephrase that in a better way, in a more clear, under clear terms, but also considerate way.
I hear you. One thing I have to say I love about Oliverta, and it comes across now, is whenever I ask you a question about anything, you just answer with such this warmth. I just feel the passion and energy for what you do, and I love seeing you with clients. It really, honestly, this lady's getting sent flowers and chocolates all the time, and I understand why. Okay, so we're going to move on to something perhaps less intense, as we've got that one out of the way, and I know that you're going to love this one. So another question, and again it comes to, there's a lot of emotion surrounding this topic as well, is how do we go about deciding who gets to keep the dog?
Oh, I mean, he can have the kids. I'm joking, but not the dog. No, I mean, it's a very emotional question to ask, because the dog, the cat, any part of that relationship, that family, is part of who you are. You cannot just give part of your heart away. that dog is attached to you and your partner and your children. So if you are to keep that dog, you also need to bear in mind how will that affect the children, the partner, and the dog.
Yeah.
So it depends. Some pets are more attached to the mom, or some are attached to the dad.
Yeah.
If they're attached to the mom and the dad will say, I'll come and visit and take the kids as well as the dog, that would be a reasonable arrangement.
Okay, so I think when it comes to the dog, forget the judges, forget the lawyers, and just let the dog choose. Okay, so that's what we're gonna go with that one.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask a final question now, and this is something again you and I have discussed over coffee and casual chats, and it's something that I think you offer very, very good advice on it. So somebody that's not married, how would you give them some advice on how you'd sort of advise them to approach marriage, or things to think about before you get married?
Oh, well, I don't know if maybe this will sting a bit, but it's not meant to sting. Marriage may not be for everyone. It's not meant in any way, shape or form to be said in a negative way. Marriage is a very sacred, serious topic. People need to approach it with the utmost seriousness. Not rush into it. Yeah,
it's a conversation I was having with a friend today as well, actually. It's like, I feel like a lot of people get married these days for the wrong reasons, because it's like a social pressure, or, you know, for the big wedding, or for security and all these other things. And it's actually like, unless you're doing it for the heart and you actually believe in marriage for the right reasons, as you know, many of them don't go the distance.
No, unfortunately, I think the society, the background of certain people, many other factors, age, finances, religion. With age, many women are and they are under pressure to, why are you not married?
Do you think they're getting married younger these days? I find like women in their sort of like 20s, late 20s and stuff, and it's like, you know, I'm in my 30s now and I'm still not ready, so there's no rush.
It's while I loved myself at 20 years old and 18 years old and 30, I don't think that even though I was a mature person, I had the same maturity that I carry now, and I'm pretty sure that I'm not going to have this maturity in 10 years time. Considering that marriage is one of the most important events, one of the most important things that one can have in their life, the person has to have certain maturity. And perhaps a 20-year-old who is kind of growing up, kind of shaping their character and learning still, learning to find their feet and put a mark in this world, maybe professionally developing. Maybe they're a bit rushed, that maybe the idea is a bit rushed, but then again, having said that, we are different people coming from different backgrounds. At 30, a person is more set. If there was a career, yes, that has passed. If there was a education, that has already passed, because that was on their 20s, and the wild nights of nightclubs and that
hopefully left behind by them, but who knows?
Hopefully they were left behind. Because marriage is about now not just the I told you this before, not the romantic idea of, my God,
it's not all about Cinderella, she sold us a dream.
No, marriage is about love and compromise, cuddling at night, having a cup of tea, doing the school trips, choosing schools,
finding joy in those moments, and I suppose being ready to find joy in those moments, because at the end of the day, like you said, in your 20s, part of you might be ready, but you're not quite, you still got restlessness in you that you need to get out.
It's biologically not possible to ask a 20-year-old to act as a late 30s, and if you ask that question, you're being unfair on them. They are wonderful, they're eager, they're clever, but they're 20.
I hear you.
So this is why I say, maybe just hold your horses, maybe enjoy your life a little bit, maybe build your character and your career, maybe just be there with a person many years. You get to know the person, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But that obviously, that's my advice. It doesn't mean that you have to follow
I love
it.
that about you as well. You're like, everyone is different and you take everyone at face value, and that is ultimately, you know, how we should be approaching our decisions about marriage. So I think to wrap this up then, everybody, just be, you know, get to know yourself before you walk down the aisle. If you are going through divorce and you have a dog, let the dog choose who it wants to be with.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for joining us
pleasure.
for the episode today, and for episode 3 next week we'll be diving into some weird jobs that lawyers have done before while they were earning their stripes. And yes, TK Maxx and McDonald's are on the list.
Oh, I'll win.
Yeah.
But I'll surprise you
We
next
might
week.
have Oliverta back next week. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Do
Thank you.
like and subscribe and send us any questions you might have for the next episode.
Thank you.
Thank you.